This is the this is the Teyler Museum or Teyler Museum in Harlem, and I came here mostly because they have a fabulous coin collection. But I brought all my equipment to try to take decent pictures over here, and it's the hardest. This is the hardest room I've ever had in a museum to do any type of photography with. You see here, there's these two skylights that are used to light up this room, and then all the coins are in this glass. And what you see there is a reflection of the skylight with the sky, making it extremely difficult to try to get any pictures. Additionally to that distraction, for some reason, my camera seems to think it's very dark in here. It keeps blowing up the flash, which is unusual. I've never had that problem previously, but I'm having it here in this room. So I took a lot of pictures. I'm hoping that some of them come out nice. And now we're doing this video so that you can see this. The great thing though about this museum is they don't just drop these coins on you. They have not only just write-ups, but they have a lovely audio-video presentation that you can carry around with you that will explain the historical essence of these coins, which is really important because otherwise they just look like a bunch of coins to people who are not familiar with coin collecting. My favorite part of this is, I'll get to it in a second, is around on you just see how hard it is to get a picture of here. It's around, this is early, from the late 1400s, when the United Provinces hadn't yet even been united. And many of the coins that they used at this point in Holland were foreign coins. So this is an interesting collection, but it really starts getting busy here with the authentically Dutch mints from Holland. And here you see a one-of-a-kind coin, which is so hard to get a picture of because of that thing. It's so frustrating. But this is a proof gold rider, which is a very common design today that you find. They cost thousands of dollars in silver. This is the proof that was done gold. By the way, it was rejected and never put into circulation. I guess the design survived though because they used it in silver, for several hundred years after that, even until today perhaps, for the ducats. And here is the silver rider, an early one. And these are really in outstanding shape. You would not know this unless you've gone to Heritage or someplace auctioning, or Saks, auctioning, looking for these coins in high grade. They just don't come like this. Centered, and with all the elements minted. I mean, the mints just weren't that sophisticated back then. And there wasn't even a desire, perhaps, even to be that sophisticated, because they were much more concerned about the weight of the coin than they were, make sure the designs were right. In fact, the designs would tend to move and change slightly from vintage to vintage. Here's some more golden coins, which are nice. This is now into 1700s. And here are some coins. I have one like this. The reverse of this coin is the exciting part. It's the part with the boat. I don't know why it's got this side. Of course, that's a disadvantage of coins in museums, right? Because you can only see one side at a time. So there's that problem too. And how to solve that problem is a good question. And that's before we start discussing, the rims also of these coins, which also have significance. Right. And we come over here, and now you start seeing some mintages in the late 1600s, early 1700s already, where the mint really did a good job. Look at these. These are nearly proof-like, even by modern standards. I tried to get pictures of this with my macro lens, totally bombed. This video might even actually have better pictures than my camera took. This has got a nice glossy coin from 1673. You just forget it. You're never going to ever see that with that design detail and the nice clean strike with the polished look. I mean, this is just really, really gorgeous. You'll never see an example like that anywhere, except for here. And then you have here the smaller denominations, including one of my favorites, which I have a couple in the house, but none of them is beautiful, although I have some really lovely ones actually, of these sixpences. They're called 6 shillings. And they are got boats. I owe the boats. These are nice boats. Okay. And here are the special mints that were either done because they were done for decorative purposes, but originally they were sieges. You know, when they got sieged, they were pressed into making mints, to minting coins that were not really well done coins, but they just needed something. And this is what you get: these squared off sort of examples with the face of the coin embedded into the silver. It's nice. Here's something very exotic: a half moon. That's a real coin. More of these siege coins designs. And then the rest of this is metals. I have a little interest in myself in metals. The Rijksmuseum has a whole bunch of metals also. And that's it. Although some metals can be interesting sometimes. Now there's always, now the Teyler Museum has this wonderful coin collection. It's also famous for the paleontology section, which I'm not going to take any pictures of because I took pictures last time, even though I didn't have my camera. They have this room, which is just a nice room. I mean, from a museum perspective, this is one of the nicest rooms I ever walked into. Not that I like the paintings all that much, but the room is lovely. There's a room like this at the Wallace in London. Of course, there's not London. Here, the skylight plays to an advantage because you don't have to worry with the paintings of having to take a picture through glass. So there's that. That's the dining room. It's one of the nicer ones, actually. Let's just get a picture of the paleontology. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let me just show you. The main thing I want to show you here is about their paleontology section. It's just the way it's laid out. They really encourage interaction with the exhibits with these because of the way they're laid out. Why it doesn't work for taking pictures in the coins, it works great for the paleontology section because the kids can climb up on the glass and get a real close-up look of things. And I'll show you that in a second as we walk through this, which is an area on early indentions from the 1600s, maybe even 1700s. That's a giant spark battery, for example. But let's look at the paleo section. And here you could see how close you can get to everything. I mean, that's really outstanding. You can't get this close to anything at the Museum of Natural History in New York or any other fossil museum I've ever seen. Look at those nice small legs, almost like crow legs. And they all have exhibits with sound, like with the tape recorder, it's really well done. When I came here last time, I went through the whole thing. This time, not so much. So these are frogs. I mean, they probably have more fossil frogs here than I've ever seen anywhere. Yeah. Here's some fish, anchovies and sardines laid out. And the kids go bonkers because they can get right up here, climb up. They even have a thing where they give them chairs so they can climb up and look and read. I think I came last night. The last time it was, look at those teeth. I mean, when you're this close to them, it's really impressive to see a jawbone that big. I mean, look at that. And you can get right to it, right? I mean, that's what makes this a special paleontology collection more than anybody else. The informality of the layout is just fabulous. That's a pterosaur. Look at that baby. Beautiful pterosaur. And most of these, if not all of them, are real fossils. That's an Archaeopteryx. Now, that's not real, but they do have a real one here. That might be the real one. It's an unknown, quiet, hugely important discovery that sits here and behind like 2 inches of glass with no soundproof on it, no fancy alarm system I've seen, So, and you can get right up to it. Looks like a coelacanth. And come over here, we'll see more of this. Wish I had the kids here today, because when you see the kids just go nuts with this. Shells. Real skin. I mean, whatever they're missing in quality of the number of specimens, they don't have any big T-Rex here. There's no place to put one anyway. They more than make up with the intimacy and the detail of these animates. And I guess it's probably in the spirit of, the 18th century and the 17th centuries, scientific discovery, collector / rich experts. These guys would collect things, categorize them, and write their books, right? I mean, and they lay down, these gentlemanly scholars lay down the foundations for the data that led to later more formalized discoveries. More fish. Sponges or something. Spiders. amber. They got a nice amber collection, actually. Okay, I think I'll end with this terror bird skull and leave it at this. I encourage you to come to the Teyler Museum and look for yourself. It's worth the trip. Harlem is not far from Amsterdam, actually. I ran here from the airport, so I have a 10-hour layover. And there's a lot to see. And to do this is a museum you really need to do at least once because it's really nice. It's really lovely. And it gives you an experience that you don't have. Doing it 10 times, maybe you don't want to, But it is the type of museum that you will come to, really enjoy, and then bring your grandkids when you're 70 years old, or 60 like I am. You see here these people with the sound, listening to the soundtrack. Okay, and thank you.